Alright, hey, welcome to my review. I'm Dave, and I'm doing this review on Vite Ramen. So, you might have seen this stuff on Facebook, or on other social media, or around the internet somewhere. And it's usually marketed by a very energetic Asian man with a huge sword, or dressed in a crab costume, or something. And they market this as a more healthy option for, instant ramen. And, we'll go over the nutritional facts and things and see kind of how that stacks up. But, the last time an Asian friend of mine recommended something to me, it was a bidet. And aside from it turning me into a human water balloon at first, I think it worked out pretty well. I quite enjoy it. It leaves my butt feeling extremely clean. So maybe this will also leave my gut feeling extremely clean. I guess there's no way to know except by trying it. Now, full disclosure, I did get one of these earlier and try it, and it was, we'll go over it, but we'll try this one and see if it's any better. The first thing that you're going to notice when you go to buy some of this is that, I typically like ramen from like the little packages because it's pretty cheap, and the thing about this is it's not. This is about $9 to $10 a package. I got 9 of these in the variety pack because that's all I could find on their website. And it costs about $80 with shipping, $85. So it's a fairly expensive package of ramen compared to what you would typically find at any local store. Is it worth it? I'll give you my thoughts on that later, but we'll go ahead and go over some of the nutritional facts. Actually, before that, let's talk about their website. When you go to buy this on their website is, honestly, it sucks. Their website is kind of hot garbage. It's very difficult to find what you're looking for, the things that you want. You're probably not going to be able to find. Before you find the main attraction, which is the ramen, you're going to find other merch like shirts and other random stuff. So it's almost like they're trying to sell everything but ramen. And you'll also find a lot of, I think they call them naked nudes, just plain noodles, which, if the nutritional facts are to be believed, those are actually pretty good stats for noodles. So the noodles themselves don't taste bad, so that's a good thing. But when you're trying to find any particular flavor, I found that to be pretty difficult to do. So that's why I just got the variety pack, because that seemed to be the best way to just try all of them. So I've got the vegan spicy say-so here, and looking at the nutritional facts, when you compare this to your typical pack of, like, let's say, chicken-flavored Maruchan ramen, if you get some of that, you'll find that per package it's about 370 milligrams, or 370 calories per package, and something like 4 grams of protein, and carbs are going to be significantly less, like 24 or so. When you look at this, you're going to see that you got about 1,000 milligrams of sodium, which is, that's a lot. You're also going to find that you're going to have 68 grams of carbohydrates. That's also a lot of carbs compared to typical ramen. And then the protein, though, in this particular one was about 28 grams. I think in the other one I had, it was closer to 30 or 38, something like that. So there's a lot of difference in the amount of just basic dietary stuff in here. Where this kind of shines, though, is if you look at the vitamin content of those typical ramens that you find, you're going to find basically zero of anything in it. But this, you're getting, 26 up to 67% of some vitamins on here. So this one's got vitamin D at 26%. That's pretty good. Potassium, vitamin E, riboflavin, which is in cereals anyway, folate, pantothenic acid, zinc, manganese, choline, calcium, vitamin A, K, B12, niacin, iodine, selenium, chromium, iron, vitamin C, thiamine, vitamin B6, biotin, magnesium, copper, and molybdenum. So you get all those vitamins that you don't typically get on ramen in this, and that's actually kind of good. And the overall calories is 590, which really is not that significantly different compared to the packages that you get from a normal store. So I'll probably put those, or I probably already had them somewhere and I just didn't mention it. But yeah, the nutritional facts are pretty decent, I suppose, as far as ramen goes. So without further ado, let's go through how to cook this, and more importantly, how does it taste? So the shipping process is another thing that I need to mention. It did take about 2.5 weeks to get to me, and I'm in Florida, so they said on the website initially it was going to be, I think 5 days or something was the shipping time. The thing was, they didn't mention that there's like a prep time that they take. So when I got the email, I got an email saying, hey, we're preparing your order. It's going to be about 3 to 5 weeks. So be prepared for that if you're ordering this stuff. It is not quick for it to get to you. All right, so the directions on how to make this are pretty simple. They don't require a lot of efforts, as you would expect with this kind of prepackaged ramen. I'm using my induction burner setup here because my oven range got destroyed when a bug crawled across the circuit board and shorted the capacitor. And I know enough about Electroboom that when that happens, bad things happen to your circuit board, like it burned a hole through it. So yeah, I'm just using this thing for now. But anyway, when you open this thing up, it's going to come with a couple things. Obviously, your brick of noodles. You're going to get a little oil package. This one is a spicy one, so it seems to have some kind of chili powder or something in there. And then it also has what they call a sachet or a sachet of dry ingredients. This is a much larger one than you normally get in these types of things. And you would think that would equate to more flavor, but I'm not really sold on that. But as you can see, I got my water boiling. So I'm going to drop my brick of noodles in there and throw in the extras because screw it. And then we're going to let that simmer for about 3 minutes. And we'll come back when it's, the consistency of noodles. I do want to take a minute to point out something like, when it comes to health foods, something like a Quest bar, you get 21 grams of protein, only 4 carbs, 1 gram of sugar, and 190 calories. So as far as health foods go, this isn't necessarily the best. It does have a lot more vitamins, again, which is nice, but at the same time, it's still not going to be the best thing. I guess it's nice if you're trying to have some variance in your diet and something a bit more flavorful. But if you're looking for a lot of protein because you're doing a lot of exercise or weightlifting, this is not a bad option. All right, so we've got our ramen cooked. They say about 3 minutes of simmering. Even 3 minutes I found is not enough. I usually go with more like a 5 or a 6 with these to get them to actual, typical noodle texture. They're a bit al dente otherwise. But the next step is to drain them, so I'm going to drain off some of the water. All right, so got the water drained. It said to reserve about 2 tablespoons of liquid in there to, be able to mix in your dry ingredients. So that's what I'm doing now. Putting in the dry stuff. The package is not easy to open. I mean, it's easy to open, but the way that they fill these and where they put the marks to open these is pretty consistently difficult to get all the powder out without, spilling it everywhere once you actually do open it. But, whatever, not a big deal. Lost a little bit of it. Okay. Now it does have like a pretty good chili aroma to it. So I'm going to mix this through a bit. If you like that sound, this is great ASMR for you. But yeah, it's got a pretty good aroma. I like that. It's not too bad. It smells good. The first one I tried was a roasted chicken and soy sauce flavor, and I did not taste roasted chicken or soy sauce, which makes a lot of sense since these are all supposed to be vegan. So yeah, no actual meat or animal products, which I'm not a big fan of. Typically, I would not eat anything vegan because I find that anything vegan sucks. But, giving it a try. Alright, so got that well mixed, and we're going to dump it into a bowl. And the last step to this, actually before, so I'm going to try this in 2 ways. I'm going to try this
one before I put the oil on top, and then I'll try it after I put the oil on top. Because they say to put the oil in afterwards, so I think that's going to add some of the spice to it, but we'll try it without. It's actually got pretty good spiciness to it right off the bat, so that's not too bad at all. So now I'm going to add in the oil, which I'm going to have to try to get all this down to the bottom before I open it, because I don't want this to go everywhere, and I prefer it to be in the bowl. But we'll see what happens. All right. So then we just top it with the oil. Now they mentioned in the directions that you can also add in your own ingredients as well. So if you wanted to add in, you know, some thinly sliced pork or beef or chicken, you can do that. But that's just going to add in more to the cost overall of this, and it really doesn't give me a good idea of how the ramen itself tastes, and that's really what I'm looking at today. All right, so there it is. We've got our spicy, I can't even remember what the hell, sensory or something, I don't know. So we'll take this over the table and give it a try. Okay, so I'm gonna mix it around a little. That oil on the top is kind of weird, but whatever. So yeah, let's give this a try. I can definitely sense some heat coming off this as I'm mixing it around with that extra chili oil that I just put in a second ago. Well, let's give it a try. Yeah, added a little bit extra heat to it. So the flavor itself is okay. It's not amazing. I could see people liking this one. Is it something that I'm going to go for every time? Not really. The other thing about it is they recommend adding some salt to it, which is odd considering how much sodium is already in it. Like, I can't taste a whole lot of salt in this, and I'm fairly certain I don't have COVID or anything, but yeah, this is, it's okay. It's not bad. Is it $10 good? I would say no. I would say it's probably not. But I don't know. I'm gonna taste this a bit more, and then I'll come back and I'll just kind of sum up. All right. So what's the final verdict on the Vite Ramen? Well, when I try to evaluate a product, I'm gonna go with, you know, 3 kind of metrics. Make like a triangle, right? At the top we've got, is it cheap? And then over on the sides we've got, is it quick? And is it good? Now, typically with most products, you're only going to get 2 of those things at most. If it's good and it's cheap, it's not going to be quick. If it's quick and cheap, it's not going to be good. And if it's quick and cheap, or quick and good, it's probably not going to be cheap. In this case, I don't think we met 2 of those. I think we only got kind of maybe 1. I would say it's good. It's not great. But it wasn't cheap, and it certainly wasn't quick. It was actually fairly long to get the product. 2.5 weeks to get something these days in particular is a lot. And then it was almost $8, $10 a package. That's not very cheap for ramen. Usually I can go to the store and buy a brick, like a box of like 5 to 8 of them for something like $6. So to have to pay $10 for one, it's not great. Now, when I say it's good, it's not great. It's good as far as, you know, health food goes. It actually tastes pretty okay. Like, I don't have, it's not something I would go for all the time. I probably wouldn't buy more of it. But if you're looking for something to give you a little bit more of a variety when you're trying to eat a bit healthier, it's not a bad option. There's a lot of carbs. So if you're trying to cut carbs, it's not going to help you. But the amount of vitamins you're getting out of it, if the package is accurate, is actually really, really good. You know, getting 30 to 67% of some of the things that you need daily, along with the amount of protein, is actually a pretty solid mix. I don't have a lot to complain about with that. I would probably leave the oil out as far as the flavor goes. I didn't really like the oil that you put on the top. And it would probably be a lot better if I added in some actual protein to it, like some chicken, pork, or beef. Even like egg would probably make it a little bit better. So it's not a bad product on its own. It could be better with some other things you add into it. So is it worth buying? I would say no, probably not, unless you're really into ramen and you really want to eat like some healthier options for ramen. If that's for you, then by all means go for it. But as far as I'm concerned, if I need protein, I'm going to stick with some simple stuff like chicken, pork, beef, and protein bars, or maybe like some kind of like whey or a protein powder to give myself that extra boost. I would rather do that than go through the hassle of ordering the stuff, waiting for it to get here, cooking it, and then having to pay all that amount for that. I mean, the box of protein bars, if we want to talk just about protein, I think I got 20 of them for about $25, and those are a quick, easy thing with less calories, less carbs, and a pretty comparable amount of protein. So yeah, I don't know. I would say my verdict on this is not worth buying. But hey, it's up to you. Anyway, if you liked the video, comment, like, subscribe. Tell me what you thought about it. If you've tried it, let me know what you think. Maybe I'm doing something wrong. Maybe there's a better flavor I don't know about. But thanks for watching. I'll see you on the next one. And until then, try not to die.